obsessed with the oddly satisfying subreddit, specifically the posts where things fit perfectly into other things, coins that have fallen into exactly sized recesses and vacuum cleaner heads that slot between two pieces of furniture with millimetric precision, that kind of thing.
Clearly whoever came up with the concept of the X2 is a fan too. Here's a car that fills a hitherto gaping hole in the X lineup, sliding neatly into the range like a Coke bottle in a Pringles tube. Munich now has a royal flush of crossovers and 4x4s running from X1 to X6, with plans for an X7 and X8 waiting in the wings.
And it's more than an exercise in numerical completeness, as we will now explain.
As you've probably guessed from that tenuous intro, the frequency with which they are being launched is so great, we're finding it hard to come up with original ways to break the news to you.
Thing is, while everyone seemingly wants a commanding driving position and the ability to bump up the curb outside Nando's without touching the brakes, no one seems able to agree on a single body style.
So we have small SUVs, tall SUVs, coupe SUVs, and small coupe SUVs like the X2. Styling-wise, it's a move away from the X4 and X6, looking more like a jacked-up 1 Series hatchback than anything else. It's also part of that hipster ranger of BMWs that prefer front and all-wheel drive.
If we said the words front-wheel drive, 5-door, 4-cylinder SUV coupe, and asked you to guess the brand, you probably wouldn't say BMW.
You'd probably say Toyota.
And that's really the point. BMW doesn't want you to buy a Toyota, it wants you to buy a BMW.
Specifically, the X2 is aimed at younger buyers who would normally be seen in a Range Rover Evoque or Mercedes-Benz GLA-or, controversially, the platform-sharing Mini Countryman.
Like all even-numbered BMW X cars, the X2 is a sportier version of the boxier number beneath it, so if the X1 looks too functional for you, here's your car.
For a start, there's a BMW roundel on the C-pillar, a styling cue that harks back to the 3.0 CSL and 2000 CS, plus there's the sloping roof and thin window line and kidney grille that is wider at the base than the top.
It shares the same wheelbase and track as the X1, but sits 7 cm lower and measures 8 cm shorter thanks to its tiny overhangs.
That means it has a lower center of gravity, plus a stiffer body with specific springs and dampers and greater negative camber on the front axle, all of which point at enhanced agility. Sure does. Of particular note are the special preloaded bushings fitted to the X2's roll bars. These tackle body roll and allow the dampers to be slackened for a better ride.
Regardless, the X2 is stiffer than the X1, and that's whether you stick with the standard suspension or upgrade to the adaptive setup.
Plus, M Sport cars get a further 10mm drop.
All of that means while the X2 is a little less edgy and direct than the Mini Countryman, it's a sharp handler that feels very sure-footed and confidence-inspiring in xDrive form, but not wholly exciting.
It resists understeer well, and there's just a small amount of well-controlled lean when you push on.
Still, we had more fun on faster, more flowing corners than on the tighter sections.
The steering is as you'd expect from a BMW, offering a well-judged amount of heft through a large wheel with bratwurst thick padding.
Accuracy is a strong point, though there's a fair bit of self-centering at work.